Oh, hey guys, I'm back, and I got a couple boxes from Kubi right here. And when I say I got a couple boxes from Kubi, I mean literally, Kubi sent me a couple boxes. I've liked Kubi for a long time. I mean, you can find my first Kubi video, oh God, 7, 8, 9 years ago. I don't know, way back when on this channel. And the original, I mean, not the replacement, but the original Kubi Model 003 is still just nostalgically one of my favorite folding knives. And I have been, I've been showing you, and I mean, and literally carrying Kubi knives for years. I have a $500 Kubi knife. Actually, you know what? I think I have it on the shelf right here. Hold on. It is. I'm still talking to you to prove I'm not cutting away to anything. A $500 Kubi knife that a lot of people just don't like, and I get it. But this is and why is it $500? Great materials, titanium, M390, and there was like only 250 of them ever made or something like that. And you know, there are Kubi knives that you can get for, well, I don't know the pricing now, but they had ones that were like sub $20 knives for a while, and they've got everything in between. They've got some higher end ones. These are not the higher end ones, and you can tell because of the boxes they come in. They've got some higher end, $100 to $200 ones. Again, titanium, high grade steel, and then they've got some more affordable ones. Now, you know, what you like is what you like. Kubi was one of the first companies that that really started to change the story of like everything made in China is crap. And there is still a lot of stuff made in China that is absolute crap. But Kubi's got some decent quality for the money. They really do. So these are the two models that we've got to look at today. We've got the Master Chief, and we've got the Leaf. Does it say Leaf? It does say Leaf. Very, very small. So of course the geek in me, we have to look at the Master Chief first. Now, just to let you know, the higher end ones come in like more of a cardboard colored box. It's a bigger box because it has a zippered case inside, padded case. And these don't, which, like I said, the lower end kind of ones. So you get your little Kubi card inside. Now, I know that each of these, wow, this is a kind of a chunker right there. I know that these are probably also available in some other finishes. Most Kubi models, you know, you have an option of handle color, sometimes handle material. This, I believe, is what, black G10, did it say? Yeah. You've got a deep carry clip, standard. I love it. Nice retention and spring on that. Looks like you can switch that clip left or right. Fit and finish looks great. Minimal. Not a lot of hardware, but man, oh, those are perfectly flush. I mean, just flush. You can't feel a thing. Nice chamfering on the edges of the scales. Interesting, they're not actually perfectly round. Look at that, they're slightly angled. And as you can see, for anybody that's not a moron, it is a flipper. Can we put it? Oh yeah, you can push button. Ooh, I like that blade shape. You can push button. You can light switch. Comfortable, simple shape handle. I'd like to be able to get more of my thumb on that lock. Just because of there's so little of it contacting your thumb. Number one, like I said, I just like to be able to contact it a little bit more, but it presses on your thumb a little bit more than I like, but it's doable, not a problem. Cool blade shape. Can we go reverse Tonto on that? Can we? Yeah, I guess we could. And I love a reverse Tonto blade. I haven't seen either of these knives until right now, and that blade finish is, for me, from my angle here, I don't know if it's just what I'm seeing, or if it's the way it looks almost like a little bit of a dark wash. a little bit of a dark tumble. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing the same thing I am, or if I'm just seeing something crazy. But it's AUS 10, which is not, it's not cheap budget steel. I mean, it's not highest end, but it's a good quality carry steel. And I like it. It's got a little bit of weight to it. It's got a you know, it's not gonna, I like a knife that you feel like you've got something in your hands. But I think you guys that have been watching this channel for a while know that. It reminds me of something, although I don't know what, and maybe you guys can tell me, what does it remind me of? What shape? I don't know. Very smooth. Get in there and finish your job. There we go. Very nice and smooth out of the box. But I really like the blade shape. I think the reverse Tonto is a great blade shape. You know, my first blade of that type was the Benchmade 810, and I fell in love with. Well, no, that's not true. It would be the 940. The Benchmade 940, then the 950, then the 810, but they're all in the same family. The one I carried the most, though, was the Benchmade 810. I love the size and the weight of it and everything. And now anytime I get one that kind of fits that model, I love it. So I believe we are, yeah, bearings. Just a kind of a simpler knife. I like kind of the, has almost like a striated look on the G10 there. It's cool. All right, now let's take a look at the leaf. Does this say anything about the handle? No. I just feel like something called the leaf should be green, and if it's green, then it should be jade. But, well, it is green, but it's not jade. Oh well, a guy can dream. Let's see, what do we have here? Is this G10? This is G10 also. Another deep carry clip. Ooh, it's a lot tighter than the last one. I like this. I like the springiness here because that's going to hold, but it's also going to be a lot easier on your pocket, belt, whatever. This one's got, that's got a lot more retention, but I'm sure it won't. It's not going to be a pocket shredder, but still, it's tight. But also reversible, left or right. And you know what? I kind of like the pocket, the lanyard hold, the way that the scale comes down over that steel liner. That's nice. Looks like we got a front flipper. I love front flippers. Once you get into them, I understand a lot of people have some difficulty kind of adjusting to them. I feel like once you get into them, they're very fidgety. They're very cool to use. Again, same great fit and finish. The pivot kind of has a little bit of a feel, but that's obviously intentional because it matches on both sides. But those frame screws perfectly flush with the surface. Oh, that's not the biggest. I get it. It does look like leaf. I'm not a huge fan. Not a huge fan of the angle you hold it at. I don't really like that one as much. It just does. It feels a little off to me because the angle of holding it really only puts the forward fifth of the blade in contact with the cutting surface, whereas with the Master Chief, you know, you can get most of that from about here forward, really in good contact. And it is it's a cool looking blade, and it looks like Airwolf is on there. But and that's not to say that you can't have utility purpose otherwise with this blade, but it just, I try to go and use this on a surface, and I'm punching the surface to get the blade in contact there. That's not, I don't like that at all. So I mean, while I'm sure that there are, number one, so positive things. I love the front flip on this. So front flipper activation, if you don't know. So you want to get a good hold on either side of the knife on the scales. You want to get a good grip. So if it's an index finger, the thing that people do is they usually don't have a good enough grip, and you can use that clip to kind of get your finger on there, right? You hook it in and hold it, and that way you can counteract the force that you're using to pull the flipper back, because I see a lot of people that end up flipping it. Rest it really tight in your hand and you just rotate back and it works. For your thumb, it's kind of the same thing. It's a little bit more awkward, but you know, because you're rotating your thumb, but you can kind of follow through your hand. But I mean, either way, thumb or finger, once you get used to the action, it's all about finding a comfortable place to position your fingers to keep hold of the knife, and then just work on that rotation of the finger joint that you're using. Anyway, I do love the action of it. I do. And the handle's not uncomfortable. It's small in my hand. And so small knives in my hand usually puts the clip right in my knuckles, and that doesn't feel great. In fact, it can tend to hurt after a while. But just the angle of the blade, how it kind of curves downward a little bit, that gives me a little trouble using it cutting on a surface. Now I can modify my hold on it and get a little more blade in touch with the surface, and like that it works. But by nature, if I'm cutting, I want to have a firm grip on the knife. So I can get a significant more amount of this blade on a cutting surface if that's what I'm doing. And of course, if I'm cutting something off the surface, let's say I am in a camping mode, or something outdoors, sure, I don't have it with me, but I could use this to debark something. I could use this to cut cord, whatever. I'm not trying to be totally negative Nancy on it. It's just my first impression was, well, my fist is going to encounter whatever cutting surface long before the knife does. Whereas this, I can at least get a lot of this blade down on the surface. Anyway, I like to give you guys the honest thing. I know, most people, when a company sends them a knife, they're just going to tell you how great it is. But I think everybody knows I'm gonna tell you my negative Nanciness on it too. But I don't want to take away from the knife. I still think it's got some cool style to it. It wouldn't be my first choice to carry around. Although I do love a front flipper. It is very fidget factor for me. And there are times where I'll carry front flippers just because I enjoy the action of it so much, that then when I get a regular flipper in my hand, I find myself like, oh yeah, okay. They are good looking knives though. It's got kind of a light tumble finish on that blade too, and green G10 and this sort of satiny tumble goes together really, really well. But you know what we haven't done? Yeah. So cool. Now by the time you guys see this video, I will have looked up some specs and everything and put them in text, tried to find some, average costs around the internet and everything, and yeah, I love that front flip action. So kind of Klingonish too, I think. But these are what they sent me for us to take a look at. Really nice. I really like the Master Chief. I think it's got a really nice feel to it, and again, fits my hand nicely as a larger pocket knife. I mean, you can just sort of, if I put them right up, you can see the difference here. So small option, larger option, whatever. But thank you to Kubi for deciding they wanted to send a couple things my way to take a look at and show you guys. I'll put a link to Kubi's official site where you can look at, you can look at all their stuff since they sent me the knives. But you can buy Kubi's in a lot of places. Amazon, some of the bigger knife online retailers, or you can just Google search. But Kubi has, I really do like a lot of the things that Kubi has. So anyway, guys, I'm curious, what do you think of these two knives, Master Chief and the Leaf. Is there one you like better than the other? Features you like? How do you feel about front flippers? Anybody a big fan of front flippers or just absolutely hate front flippers? Or what do you think? So share your thoughts. Let's discuss it. And remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I'll be back again real soon.